stands forever. A San Antonio-based organization who for the past 25 years have dedicated themselves to the rescue, rehabilitation, and release back into the wild of injured, sick, and orphaned birds of prey.
Welcome to SeaWorld and the celebration of Wild Days. My name is John Karger. I'm the director of Last Chance Forever, the Bird of Prey Conservancy, and we are truly honored to be here today to share and network with SeaWorld and to be in front of you. And we are proud of the fact that you have taken the time and used your freedom of choice to be with us this day. We'd like to share with you some very beautiful birds of prey that we brought from our center, where we rescue birds that are found broken, birds that are found out of the nest, birds that are ill, and we try very hard to put them back in the wild. Do you know why? It's not because they're incredible and awesome, they are, but because we need them. These birds, as small as they are, they breathe the same air, they drink the same water, they eat from the same earth. That which happens to them, something that's ill with the earth, will happen to us also. So they are indicator species. And after today, if you can't try to save them because of their beauty and they're awesome, then at least think of the fact that they're here to help us all as indicator species. I brought some very beautiful birds with me today. I brought some birds from our center which are ambassadors. Unfortunately, they cannot go back into the wild, but they are doing their very best to share with you the beauty of raptors. Take a look at the bird on my left. It's on your right. That is the bird that flew across you. That is a bay-winged hawk. Look at the color down the side of the wing. John Audubon named it the bay-winged hawk. It's a ruddy red color. It looks like the color of a bay horse. It has a black body, a black tail with a white tip. Then look at the shape of the wings. Long and rounded. This is the wing of a hawk. Look at the eyes. All birds of prey have incredible eyesight. All birds have good eyesight. But birds of prey are a little bit better than all birds. They can see a mouse at a mile away. Can you imagine being able to see a tiny little mouse at that distance? When you look at those eyes, they're so gorgeous and huge. And then let's look down at their feet. Their feet are called talons. These are the powerful killing weapons of the birds of prey, yet they are the peaceful tools. See how they sit there calmly and quietly? It's not because they're trained or tamed. They are conditioned to tolerate us and we tolerate them. We are partners. That bird in the wild captures a lot of small mammals. Rabbits, raccoons and possums, rats and mice, lizards and snakes, those few reptiles. That bird in the wild is also known as the wolf of the air, for they sometimes fly in packs. There'll be 10 or 12 birds together, and what's really going on is the older birds are teaching the younger birds how to survive. It's something we ought to adopt. I think that all of us should be teaching the younger birds how to survive. Now, in the hawk family, these are the birds that dash about catching terra firma, things on the earth. There is a bird that captures small mammals and reptiles on the earth, but also can catch a few of those small songbirds and small birds that live in the bushes. And it is the bird behind me here. Gray and white stripes is a bird called a goshawk, G-O-S-H-A-W-K. Goshawk. Look at its eye, it's brilliant yellow. It will be orange as red when it's an adult. This is only 2 years old. Look at the length of his tail. That should tell you that he has a tail so he can really maneuver quickly and he can get in and out of a tree rather quickly. And around this area, the brother to this bird is a bird called a Cooper's hawk. And it's a little bluish brown bird, much like this, and it zips through your garden capturing small birds. When you look at that bird's wing, again, look, it's round and it's long. Now, nature has the plan, and nature's plan is the same plan we live by. It's called checks and balances. We're all part of it because if we weren't, we would live to be forever. But because we leave room for the ones behind us, and that's called nature's check. Now, balance is these animals make sure that there's never too many animals in one place so they don't starve to death. And nature's check is these birds capture the slow ones and the weak ones. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give you a little better look at them. Before we do that, though, I want to point out the last bird that I have here. If nature has the plan, who catches the fast birds like pheasants or ducks, pigeons? It has to be a bird with a long wing with a pointed wing. No extra wing, all speed. This is a falcon. Take a look. Now that bird is from the Arctic Circle. They're found in the Arctic Circle all the way down through Canada, and occasionally they're found in the northern part of the United States, but they're found in boreal forests where these birds can fly about, and what they do is they pursue prey. They dive out of the sky reaching speeds of over 200 miles an hour. Amazing. Let's give you a little better look. We're going to take these birds out and take them for a walk. Let's do a hawk and a falcon walk. Let's give them a round of applause. There. Okay. You notice right away there's something going on with this bird's head. What's on there is called a hood. The way we handle these birds, you notice they're on something it's not a gardening glove, it's called a gauntlet. We use the ancient art of falconry. It's about 4,000 years of age to help us handle the birds and help us rehabilitate them to put them back in the wild. Because after all, a bird like this with a long wing, once they've healed that wing, we've got to get them flying again. But what's on this bird's head is a hood, and it was designed 1,000 years ago. It was designed by people who were hunting with the birds, which I still do today. I practice the 4,000-year-old art called falconry. I can carry the bird on my hand. But if I'm sneaking up on ducks have very good eyesight. And if the falcon bobs its head, the ducks will fly away. But if I put the hood on, which is custom made for this bird, then I can sneak up on the ducks. Now I have taught Roxanne how to do this, and I'm going to give her the command for it. First I'm going to say strike the braces. That means the ducks are in the end of the pond where they're going to fly into the wind, they're going to be much slower. You notice how close she got her face to that bird? That says she has to be a partner with the bird. Now strike the hood for them. And there you see the incredible face of the falcon. How beautiful and how majestic. Large, dark, marbled eye. Turn her a little bit that way to your left so they can see with the camera. Keep going. There you go. You can see how beautiful her eyes are. Look at the gorgeous feathers. Now, if the ducks were to get out of position, say they flew away because she made that noise, then we have to place the hood. Watch. There is no fight. She takes the hood easily, and this is what's been mastered since the time of Henry VIII. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give this falcon a round of applause. Thank you so much. You know what I'd like to do now is I'd like to fly a bird for you, and I'd like to share with you a bird that a lot of people have a tendency to call ugly, and that really bothers me. I find it rather sad. We get up in the morning, we comb our hair, we brush our teeth, we look in the mirror and we say to ourselves, you're looking good. And then all of a sudden when you come to SeaWorld or another park where we're at, and we've got this species of bird on exhibit, I've heard people walking by and say, "Hey Bob, look at this bird. Isn't he ugly and stupid looking?" I find that really sad. It tells me that we really don't know much about these animals. The bird that I'm about to bring out may not be the most beautiful bird in the world, but what this bird does is incredibly beautiful. It is a scavenger. It cleans the earth of dead animals. How'd you like to have that job? You wake up in the morning, there's a voice in your head telling you what to do, and it says, get up, get on I-35, go north towards New Braunfels, eat everything that got killed last night, last week, and last month. Make sure you get all the flies, the maggots, the worms, and the juices. And you're going to say, what? And the voice is going to say, yes, if you don't do that, and those animals that have terrible diseases, they will be laying there when it rains. The rain carries it into the water system, and it poisons all the animals on the earth, including humans. Now, there are two types of this bird. One has got a red head, it's called turkey vulture, and the other one's got a black head, it's called a black vulture. Let's see if we can get a black vulture to come in here. There he is. Thank you very much. You can tell he's a black vulture by the black wing with the white lines. You can also see how he's reaching into my hand. He's literally trying to tear the inside from the outside, and he's not bothered by dead things. He's an excellent flyer. Hard flapping beats, but not only does he fly well, he walks well. Watch closely. Let's see if you can come over here. Come right here. Atta boy. Now let's go up here on the ramp. Let's take a little walk up here. Atta boy, come on up here. Come on, let's go over here. Atta boy. Excellent. Excellent. Do you know how these birds find their food? They find their food by smell. They can be 1,000 feet above the earth and they can smell something dead. That's why your mother says you should always have clean underwear and socks on at all times. Do you know how they protect themselves? They protect themselves very well. Hey, come back here. Come here. Come on over here. Right up, go up there. Go up there. Right up there. They protect themselves very easily. When there is danger, they stand up straight, they face danger straight on, and they vomit. You can learn something from this bird. Next time somebody comes up and says, I'm going to beat you up, stand up nice and straight, wait till they get in close, and put it right on their shoes. Now I need your help. On the count of 3, I want you to say time to go home. All right? 1, 2, 3. Come on, beat it. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. You did very well. When the sun sets and the moon rises, nature doesn't change. Nature is like a train going down the tracks. Nature really doesn't care much whether we're here or not, but we're here for the ride. When the sun sets and the moon rises, there are birds of prey that fly at night. And the ones that fly in the day go to sleep, like you and I. We have fairly poor eyesight at night. Those birds that fly at night, there are many kinds of them. They are called owls. Great gray, screech owl, barn owl, barred owl, saw-whet owl. There are many kinds of owls. But believe it or not, I can teach you to identify them without ever seeing them. For example, you've nicknamed one owl Hoot Owl. And that's a good nickname because they make this call. They go, hoo, 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 hoo. Its real name is Great Horned Owl, and I've got one right here. Look at the horns on top of the head. They're not hard horns like a cow or a goat, but they are soft feather tufts. They're not even there as ears. They're not even there to help them hear. They are there to help them hide. It's part of the camouflage. In other words, they can throw those horns up, close their eyes, and they look like a stump on the middle of a tree with little broken twigs on it. This is a very large bird. Look at its wings. And if it were totally silent in here, you would hear nothing because their feathers on the edges are very, very soft. They're designed to be silent flyers, the original stealth hunter. When you look at this bird, I want you to know that it captures a lot of raccoons and possums, rabbits, large animals that run on the ground. It has incredible hearing. It can hear a mouse at about 500 feet away scratching its ear. However, its favorite fruit happens to be skunks. Skunks are good animals, folks. They really do us a great service. They eat the bugs that eat the roots of trees. However, every once in a while, skunks get very sick, and they spread a disease called rabies. And you do not survive it. I do not survive it. Rabies kills humans. So this is a miracle bird for us all. Now, nature has the plan. So I brought another bird, another owl, that's a bit smaller. It lives in the forest and the tall trees near the creek bottoms, and it sounds like this. It goes, oh, 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 oh. And it's called a barred owl, B-A-R-R-E-D. Look at the way the feathers are painted, like bars, gray and white. The barred owl has dark eyes. That's because he flies mostly through the night, but very little in the daytime. Now, if this bird is supposed to be catching a little smaller animal, you know, like a rat or a small rabbit or a tiny little insect, who catches the really little insects all the time? What kind of an owl? It is a bird that sounds like this. It goes, and it's a bird called a screech owl. Take a look. You are so predictable. I bring out the other birds, you're like, yeah, this bird. I bring out this one, you're like, oh. Although he looks cute, he's full grown. And I guarantee you, he is just as tough on his prey when he has to capture him, and it's just as hard for him to catch a big grasshopper as it is for an owl to catch a rabbit. It's a real wrestling match. He has sharp claws on the end of his feet. Those are called talons. And he grabs things and he crushes them down until he breaks bone. Well, let's bring these birds in close to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take an owl walk. It's a rare opportunity. People ask me all the time, can these birds turn their head all the way around? No, they cannot. But they can turn their head a considerable distance. That's what makes them look like they can turn their head all the way around. I'm going to try to duplicate that for you, but here's what really happens. The bird turns his head almost all the way around, and then you blink. And you think, my goodness, he turned his head all the way around. So I'm going to try to do that for you. When I say blink, blink for me. And if I get him to look right here, and blink. And here, and blink. One more time. Here, and blink. 2 more turns and plop, his head falls right off. No, I'm just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the night flyers, the night hunters. We hope you enjoyed seeing the owls. At Last Chance Forever, when we get a bird in, I said it before and I'll say it again. They either come in broken, they either come in very ill, or they come in orphan. And unfortunately, we do get a few birds occasionally that people shoot. And I don't know exactly why they do that, except they're not educated to their beauty, their awesomeness, and what they do on this earth. But if they're broken, our veterinarian repairs, say, a broken wing. If they're ill, we make them feel better. And if they're orphans, then we've got to teach them how to hunt and how to survive because they have no parents. So I use the ancient art of falconry. Not every bird that we get in do we handle, but there are birds that have had such a severe broken wing that if we did not make them fly, do the physical therapy, they would not survive. Now once they're flying, say I'm getting them to fly to small pieces of food, I'm going to try to get them hunting again, because that's how they survive. They are hunters, and so you should be. I'm not anti-hunting, I'm anti-murder. That's wrong. And I'm anti-waste, and we waste way too much. To be anti-hunting means that you don't want somebody to go out and get food for you. You just don't do it yourself anymore. Now, normally what I would do at this time, when I've got a bird flying very well, I would get that bird to go with us. I'd take all of you out into a field, and then we would perhaps kick up a rabbit. Some of you would do this. I can't look. But I also know you're going to do this because you're curious, and that's all right. Now, when the hawk catches the rabbit, if he's successful, it's not a beautiful sight in our eyes. But I would not let you celebrate the death of that animal. We can't do that in here. But I can come fairly close, and I can show you how I start a bird in the very beginning, how to chase game. I use something the French say, to lure. To lure means to call. A lure is something you use to call something else. This is a lure. It looks like a bird. It's made of leather. It was once a cow, a very small cow. Now I'm going to try to get this lure to run like a rabbit, say from here across here. I'll try to get the bird to chase it. I'm also going to get him to try to catch it in the air for you, because after all, he has to learn every trick he can to be able to survive. Now if you look to my right and your left at the tiki god, you can see that bay-winged hawk. Now, I'm not going to let him capture it the first couple of times. Why? Because I want him to gain speed, get strong. I want him to be able to be quick on his thoughts, and I want him to understand it's not easy out there. For example, if I just put it, where'd he go? Is he up above me now? Way up there? Then we get a chance to show you something. Normally I would get him to fly across here, but I'm going to get him to come right down. Is he up in the top? Okay. Here we go, watch. Let's give that hawk a round of applause. He did very well. All right, let's see if we can get him to miss a couple of times. I like to do that when they're way up there because you get to see that plummet and how they plunder. All right, let's see if I can get him to move over here. Thank you. All right, I'm going to put it right out here. Let's see if I can get him to chase it. And he's going to miss it. And he misses it. Now, in the wild, if he misses it like that, he's going to starve to death. But if I'm a partner for him, I'm going to teach him how to look over his shoulder. Let's say the rabbit went into a bush, and I saw the rabbit squirt out the other side. If I said, here it is, can I get him to look over his shoulder? When I'm gone, he's flying free. I want him to look over his shoulder when he passes his prey. Watch. Here it is. Let's give that hawk a round of applause. Really well. Now he's very serious about this. He treats it like he treats your lunch. He is not about to let it get away. However, I need to get him off of here to be able to fly him again. And I did it a moment ago, I just didn't explain it. If I reach down and try to take it away from him, you can see he doesn't want me to do that, and I'm not a partner. But what if I take a tiny bit of food and toss it away? Would it prove to you that he doesn't wake up angry or vicious? He wakes up hungry. Watch. Right over there. He leaves the game behind. I should be able to pick it up. Now there's actually two more maneuvers I want to do. I want to try to show you how this bird can capture something that runs and flies. So I'll try to get him to move out here first. I want him to get over here a little bit further. I'd like him to go to the tiki god if I could. I don't know whether I can do that or not. There we go. What happens when something runs and something flies? It runs and it flies. Let's give him a round of applause if they're really well. If you watch the screen behind me, remember I told you these birds were sometimes called the wolves of the air? Well, if you look at the screen behind me, you'll see these bay-winged hawks or Harris's hawks, and they're hunting in a pack. And it's not easy out there for them. You notice just about the time they think they've got the rabbit, even though there's three of them there, suddenly the rabbit pops out and squeezing on the side of a cliff, that rabbit is making them work for their food that day. And even though there's multiple birds, it's not an easy life. So here's what I've done. I want to show you how we get a bird like this to learn that every once in a while something's going to pop away. So I've set up a mechanical device here. I've got a winch over there that speeds up rather quickly. And over by that tiki god, I've got something that looks just like a rabbit. And it's a synthetic fur. And I'm going to try to get it to run and then pop it up in the air. Let's see what happens. I'm ready. All right, here he comes, and yep. Let's give him a round of applause. He did really well. There's one more bird we'd like to share with you. And before I do that, I want to say to you, thank you very much. You have no idea what it's like to be sitting next to a surgery table and the bird is lying there with blood on its wings. And you question, why am I doing this? But when I see all of you here and you stayed with us, it tells me that you appreciate the natural world and we've got a chance to save some of this on our earth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to dedicate this last bird to a group of people that are amongst us now. The same group of people, some of them are far away, thousands of miles away, sitting in the dark. And some of them did not make it back home, but they still join us here in spirit. And they are called veterans. I dedicate this bird to them because we do work on quite a few of these birds. And to me, it's most important to make sure that we know we are Americans and we stand for certain things. And together we stand, and divided we fall. So for me, when I get one of these birds in, I see those veterans. You know who you are, and I'm not going to make you stand up. But I want everybody here to understand that we must love them, we must care for them, and we must never forget them. Because they've stood in front of danger, no questions asked. Why do I have a chair to sit in? Why do you have a stadium? Because we have freedom to do such. Now, I'm not a warmonger, but I do appreciate them doing such a valiant effort. And in honor of them, this is an American bald eagle. Bald eagles are known for having about a 6-foot wingspan. Believe it or not, they don't weigh much, 7 to 9 pounds. They're built light. Bald eagles are known for having great eyesight. They can see things at a great distance, and very powerful legs. They are known for having a white head and a white tail, and if you didn't have a pair of binoculars at a great distance, they would look bald, but they are not. But they don't always have a white head and tail. When they're first hatched out, for about 4 years, they have a black head and a blackish tail. But after 5 years, they get a full white head and a full white tail, and that says that they can go out and pick a mate. And here's a little tidbit for you. When they pick a mate, they generally stay with that mate their entire life. And it is well documented that when one bird dies, the other one pines away.